Hello everyone and welcome back to Underworld Ascendant. Man, I'm so excited to be saying those words, because the last video I did on this game was back at the start of May 2016, well over a year ago. And that was about a month after the previous build of this game was released. So we're well over a year since the previous version. And by the looks of this thing, I've seen only a couple of minutes of this, a hell of a lot has changed and developed and advanced and evolved, and I am super excited. This is one of my most anticipated forthcoming games, and quite a few people watched my previous video on this. At the time I'm recording this one, it has about 3,500 views, which obviously isn't that many in the grand scheme of things, but for my channel it was by far and away the most popular video I'd done when I put it out. And at the time I did that video, I had about something like 35 subscribers to my channel, so it got me a whole lot more, and I also just want to thank everyone for watching that video. And also want to thank Other Side Entertainment, the developers of this game, for featuring my video in their monthly newsletter, which got me a whole lot of views and subscribers and some really nice, lovely feedback from the developers of this game themselves. Which was very touching. So, as you can imagine, I have been very keen to play more of this on the channel, and I always vowed to myself that the next time a build of this game became available to play, then I would do a very in-depth kind of look at it, with sort of experimenting with all the different abilities and skills in the game and stuff like that. That is definitely still going to happen. However, the build was released about half an hour ago on Steam, and I've not even played it yet, but I'm so excited to play it that I just thought I'd fire up my recording software and basically just give my first impressions as a separate video, and then I'll come back to it in a little while once I've sort of played it a few times and really got to grips with it. And I've played 2 or 3 minutes just of the beginning of the game, just obviously to get some test footage and stuff, and I'm also very excited to say that this build is narrated by Mr. Stephen Russell, my favourite voice actor. I knew he had a pretty big important role in the full game of this, but really didn't expect to see him, or hear him rather, in this build, so that's extremely exciting as well. That's enough babbling. Let's start a new game here. The Challenge of Ishtas. You near Markul, Nexus of Trade and Intrigue. The Lizardmen allow none entry save the able. Prove yourself in the skill shrine. Your goal, collect the silver sapling. How to procure it is up to you. The Lizardmen will attempt to stop you. Expect to be rendered unconscious multiple times. Create your own solution. Experiment. Combine spells and skills to fashion useful objects out of everyday items. Fight, bait, or avoid deadly creatures. The options are endless. The choice is yours. Nice. Let's go. So, if you don't, for some reason, if you don't know what Ultima Underworld is, or if you don't know what Underworld Ascendant is, I'll tell you in a second, because I think it's about to talk.
The Stygian Abyss. To survive, you must be clever, capable, creative.
Yeah, Stephen Russell. And he's doing a really cool kind of mythical voice, which I like. Looks so good, all those bats flying through the cave, lots of cool particle effects and stuff. Already you can see it's evolving nicely, and the art style, unfortunately I can't really avoid talking more about that. I did talk about that through the majority of my previous video, but it is one of the big talking points of this game. But first and foremost, I wanted to say, if you don't know what Underworld Ascendant is, it's the third game in the Ultima Underworld series, and the previous game in that series came out in 1993, so best part of 25 years ago. And the Ultima Underworld games were undoubtedly the first games in the genre that we now know as immersive sims, or first-person immersive games. Games that, if you watch my other videos, you'll know that I deeply love. Games like Dishonored and Prey and Thief and System Shock and Deus Ex and Stalker and things like that. That genre was really sort of born from Ultima Underworld, so to have a new installment of that is really cool, and it has this kind of 80s fantasy look, which we'll talk about a bit later, but let's actually play some of the game first. Lots of blue and green and orange and purple, which is nice.
You near Mark Hall, nexus of trade and intrigue. The Lizardmen allow none entry save the able. Prove yourself in the skill shrine. Choose a skill set.
Choose any 7 weapons and items. So this is a very advanced version of the playground from the previous one, where you could, you know, just choose a few of the skills from the tree which were unlocked. In this one you can limit yourself to 7 things. Now, as I say, I only had a look at this for a couple of minutes before, but it looks like these orbs are passive abilities, or like perks. So once you take one, you just get to the ability that it describes. So you can sprint faster if you hold this one, whatever. These sticks are equipable magic items, so they're like magic wands. So this one lets you levitate and assemble items, repel and reflect things, and slow time. So these ones you have to equip, and you have this like item bar at the bottom here, which is basically just like the one in Minecraft. So you can sort of scroll it with the mouse wheel, and that's where your weapons are, as well as these kind of magic artifacts which let you cast spells. That seems to be the way it works. And then we have a bow here, so I'm going to take this long bow. Then we have flint arrows, very sharp, and water arrows from Thief. I mean, it's basically already looking like a best of immersive Sims, which it's just making me smile, the fact that there's water arrows in this. So I'm going to take both kinds of arrows, and we'll maybe try a bit of stealth, maybe try a bit of action, probably die horribly. I probably won't even complete it in this video. I wasn't planning to make it a particularly long one, because I will be doing more than one video on this, as I said. So let's take the levitate thing. Let's just take slow time. Mage Sight. Reveal recharging streams of mana. Don't really know what that means. Gauge visibility. We'll take this. Crouch to view visibility meter. So there we have a meter, pretty much like the light gem in Thief, or the eye in Skyrim or Oblivion, or whatever. You can see as I move it gets wider, and if I go in the shadows it will probably go, yeah, narrower still. So that's going to be very useful for stealth, of course. Stealth step. Quiet when crouched. I'll take that.
Now go. Complete Ishtar's challenge. Give care. Your survival is not a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, I don't doubt that, Mr. Stephen. So, I didn't actually get a chance to see what the other things were, because once I'd reached 7 things, it took the rest away, which is fine. I can't really avoid talking about the graphics. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to. These lighting things, so cool, so cool. Now, a lot of people have been whining about the art style, and probably will always whine about it, because it's so distinctive that it's obviously going to be very off-putting and very, for some people, and very divisive for some people. I'm just the kind of person who loves this sort of stuff, and ultimately I think the game is more likely to be remembered in years to come for having this art style than for having a quote-unquote standard game art style. The fact that this all looks like it's been like it just looks like Warhammer miniatures. And again, I said this in my previous video on this game, but the way the rocks look, they look like they've been painted with they look like it's a miniature and it's been painted with like little brushes and acrylic paints. It looks like Warhammer comes, in a video game. It looks like miniatures, and the way that the sort of enemies look and stuff is very exaggerated, and all the colours are very bright and hand painted. And this orange sort of lava-y glowing light, it's the same colour as the hand painted cover art for the original Underworld Ascendant. So this just to me is like the normal, just the sensible progression for this game's art style to have. Containers often hold useful items. They do they? Well, gravitate and prolong. So this thing slows down time. Gravitate Does this levitate items? Okay, well if I take this, can I smash it? Can I search it? Is there a control sheet? Inputs, bindings, interact, sprint cast, offhand. No. So it's telling me that there's items inside something here, but unless it's talking about stuff like this, doesn't look like I can break these things, but I probably can, because this is basically like a physics playground, and it encourages you to... Oh! Okay. So I accidentally used that item, and it seems to have created a gravitational field, which is pulling in all of these objects, or to a certain limit, I think. And if I... Yes, I can let go of it, and then that makes the item float. So this is how you make, for example, like stepping stones across big pits, and yeah, it has a time limit on it. And this was shown off in the previous build, but it didn't have like all the cool graphics around it, and it was quite clunky. This already feels hell of a lot better. Spreading fire can be an enemy or a friend, so you can spread the fire. Oh yes, of course, you can burn these things. I think. There you go. And then you can use the burning items, you know, as weapons or...
Your goal. The silver sapling.
Okay, my goal is the silver sapling. So, traps are physics-based objects that can be manipulated. Yeah. That looks very, very deadly. There's going to be enemies in here probably. So basically the goal of this build is it's like a vertical slice, and it's still saying it's pre-alpha, but really that's just because it's not... I don't think it's like a completed section from the game. It's like something that's probably going to be in the game, but shuffled up to be a self-contained thing. And this item over here, whatever this thing is over here, is what I need to get, the silver sapling. And basically it just says, you know, get it however you can, however you want. Try things out, do things. And there's a little man down there. I'm taking it that's a lizard man, because they appear to be the enemies in this build, whereas previously they were... Ooh. Ah, I see. So, you can burn the crates to get the goodies in them. Well, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually now feel like a bit of an idiot for not even thinking to try that. Burn, you son of a bitch. Okay. So, yeah, so basically it's like try all of the different things, try interacting with the world in all the different ways that you can think of. See how many ways you can figure out of like getting to the goal. You could gravitate these boxes, make a series of platforms to jump over the bottomless pit, get to it that way. You could sneak down past the guards, you could fight the guards, you could lay traps, you can sort of set enemies free on enemies on each other and stuff. I don't know what that is. What is that? Some sort of hideous ball of pustules. Let's burn it. Okay. So we know there's more items in here, but I'm not going to be too thorough with this stuff, to be quite honest. Let's try some water arrows, see how they work. They work just like a thief. Oh man, that feels good. Yes, that feels very good. Pop. It even looks like thief when you fire them. Ah, I love it. So, oh, the bulb of the plolet plant becomes sticky when thrown. Okay, so... Oh, is that what that thing was? That was in the box? So does this mean you can stick things to this and then use it as a grenade or something? Maybe you can set it on fire and then throw it at an enemy and it sticks to them and they burn to death horribly. I'd like to try it out anyway. Ah, yeah, that's cool. Sticky bombs. Right, so there's lots of cool stuff. What I'm basically going to do with this video is just check out the area a bit. I'm not really going to try any elaborate strategies. I'm going to mess around with this in my spare time and then do a more sort of in-depth video once I have a feel for the way the game works. How many of those have I got? I've got 15. That's plenty. Experiment with combining spells, skills, and objects. This is the point where, if this was a Dishonored game, a big message would fill the screen saying, "Play your way!" But yeah, that's the kind of thing that... Oh man, the graphics. So good. It has this kind of... I'm talking basically just about this new content that I've not seen before. Sort of Arabian Nights kind of vibe to it. These like trellised kind of thresholds and stuff. And these like lanterns, coloured lanterns. It's a bit like sort of what they were going for with... what Torn Banner were going for with...
the Skill Shrine's Guardians. Lizardmen, perceptive opponents, skilled in combat and magic. A mind crippler, potentially exploitable.
Oh mate, there's a mind crippler. Ah. Okay, so, by the looks of it, there are Lizardmen guards with some sort of torch or lantern. And above them, in the cage, is what I think is a mind crippler. Has it seen me? It may have just noticed me. I'm not actually very well hidden, am I? Where's the light coming from? Ah, it's not flaming torches. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so this aesthetic, it looks like what Torn Banner were going for with Mirage Arcane Warfare, which is a game that's sadly not done particularly well since its launch, which is a damn shame because it's super fun. It's the sequel to Chivalry, by the way. But I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the art style of it is this kind of Arabian Nights, kind of fantasy Aladdin genie sort of vibe. There's a doorway. Now then. This has a lot of that same sort of thing going on, but as I'm sort of... gravitate crates to create a bridge, add fire and repulse to weaponize. Repulse, does that mean... what does that mean? Does that mean throw? So I could... oh, well, I've taken the thing out now. I don't have anything to make fire, unlike in the previous build, so I've put that torch out. I should probably have not done that, because I could have probably burned this door down. Okay. A little clippy there. But yeah, I can't get through that door, so... man, the colours, man. Look how it goes all green down there and all, like, sort of mouldy looking and slimy looking. It's almost like whenever you can feel the cold there and you can feel the warmth wherever there's a torch. It's like, you know, it's not the most advanced graphics I've ever seen, but it's just such an effective use of, like, art direction. And as I say, if this had standard fantasy, or, you know, if the graphics was sort of fitting in with standard, quote-unquote standard fantasy games, so comparing this to, for example, Skyrim or The Witcher or something like that, ultimately it's just not going to look as distinctive, and people just aren't going to remember it for the way it looks. It's like Wind Waker, right? When the Wind Waker came out, people absolutely hated it. It created this uproar where people couldn't believe that they destroyed Zelda in that way, and now it's seen as undoubtedly, you know, the most striking and memorable looking of all the Zelda games, and the graphics are seen as being timeless, even though it's kind of 15 years old or something. This is where the limitations of possibly the budget or the technology, I think it's on Unity, are overcome by just the amazing art direction, and that will transcend it, I think. Right, so I'm going to work out what I'm supposed to be doing here. I can make a platform by gravitating these, could I not? How am I doing that? Yeah. Gravitate, and then throw it. Hold on. I'm not fully understanding what I'm doing with this. Well... Oh, there are stickies. Could I stick a crate to the wall? Let's see. It says they become sticky when thrown, but the ones on the wall might already be sticky. So what I thought I could do is... like... stick that there, and then... Well, that didn't work. Quite heavy. Nope. Shit. Oh, okay. Now I can... Oh, that's what I was trying to do before. Hey. Oh, fuck. Balls. Well, I didn't mean to do that, and now I've run out of shit. Oh, good. I'm going to have to get some of these. Bring them over. I kind of fucked that one up, really. Alright. That's drop. I basically disenchanted them when I was supposed to leave them hovering in the air. If I just take a bunch of this crap away and hover it all, that should be reasonably effective. It gives me quite a lot to work with. I don't think it... I mean, it does say prepare to lose a lot. I don't think it expects you to get the hang of this stuff on your very first try, but... What the fuck? What was that? Oh, I've been seen. What are they shooting? Poison arrows? Shoot that poison arrow through my heart. Shoot that poison arrow. Diddle-diddle-doo. So, if I get the, I think 3 crates and some pots, I'll try this again, right? And we'll see how we get on. If I just put them all fairly close together, and then, there we go, create like a field. They're all affected by that, and then, hey, that's the shit. Huh, huh, yes. I like it. So, unfortunately, while I was faffing around this Mind Crippler. Mind Crawler is a song by Uncle Acid and the Deadbeats, which is amazing, and you should listen to it right now. Okay. Can I get out of sight once I've been seen? Okay. I'm pretty invisible here. These guys still look handy, so I'm gonna... Hey. Die! Yes. Yeah, I saw some work in progress stuff of these Lizardmen as they were being sort of designed and modelled, and it's the same deal again. Miniatures, they look like miniatures. I don't have any melee weapons, but I'm wondering if I can, like, set this thing free on them, because it looks like it's been taken prisoner. Could try creating some more cover. Okay, but you can see their lanterns, so that's useful because it makes them easy to see in the dark, but... I can take the... I can maybe try and make another bridge out of these. Give me my gravity wand. This is like the equivalent of the gravity gun from Half-Life 2. It's just about as fun to use as that. They kind of lock together in a really satisfying way. Alright. Oh no! I did a running jump, I didn't mean to do that. Shit, this is a very bad position to be in. I probably need to take this big, like, octobrain out, because it looks far more dangerous than... Oh, yeah, whatever that just did to me, I don't want it to do it anymore, so I'm going to run. And I ran. I'm wondering if it's, like, hostile to them or not, or if it's like their evil overlord or something. Okay, you have a big glowing blue sword, and I like the way you move. Yeah, I get staggered. Okay. I'm using all my arrows very quickly here, but... Oh, I haven't even tried this yet. Ah. So I think I've slows time and adds velocity to objects thrown while moving. So you can throw things further with it, is that right? Oh, mate, I've run out of arrows. Ah! Does this set it free? Oh god, that was probably a big mistake. Okay, I should have really sneaked to that lever and set it free on the lizards, but now I'm probably seriously fucked. Oh dear. I don't know where to go. I don't know where to hide. I don't think I can... No, I'm not going down there. Oh, I've just trapped myself in a corner. Yeah, this has gone pretty badly wrong, hasn't it? Oh dear. Maybe I can just run away. Maybe I can just find a dark corner and cower in it, and eventually they'll give up. I mean, it's... Oh dear. I think I need to slow down time here, don't I? Yeah. And hope that they hit the traps. If they follow me down here, they'll probably run in through those blade traps. Oh god!
You've performed a feat.
What did he say? I didn't hear what he said. Oh crap. There's so many of them, man. Beats the handful of skeletons in the previous build. This is absolutely like... This is punishing. But of course that's the way it should be. I mean, I'm just running through here, not knowing where the hell I'm going, trying to see as much of this area before I get killed. So... Yeah, it's probably not the best I could have done with this. What's down here? Hey, buddy. Oh, God! There's two of them. Should really try sneaking if they haven't seen me, rather than just running into them and getting horribly cut to pieces. Well... Everything's gone quite cold and evil round here. And I'm supposed to be going up to get to that silver sapling, so... This area is much bigger than I... Oh, hang on. This is looking more promising. This area is much bigger than I thought, as well. I don't appear to have a HUD. Like, I don't know how much health I've got or anything. I don't know if I can turn that on, or... If that's supposed to be... Okay. Is that the stuff I chucked down accidentally from before? Hey! What are you up to? I'm just going to chuck things at them. I don't think it's doing any damage, but... It's at least confusing the guy into not knowing not knowing to attack me. that's a classic strategy. Just confound them until they are just too confused to actually fight you. Oh god. And I'm dead. Well, that didn't go even half as well as I was hoping that it would. But I got to see and experiment with a few of the systems of the game, and holy shit, this is exciting stuff. I can't wait to play more of this. So, what I was going to do, basically, was to mess around with this a whole lot and see and get a good feel for it and stuff, and then do like a really in-depth video, like a long one, showing off all the skills and stuff. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do that, but basically you can have my first impressions as a little aperitif to whet your appetite before the next one. Thank you very much for watching today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, the best way to show your support is to hit the like button. That helps get the video out there, and it lets me know that you are enjoying this sort of content. Take care, my friends, and I will see you next time for more Underworld Ascendant. Goodbye!